Hello everybody and welcome back to another video of my favourite mods. This is the Universal Autoload by Loki 79 and it is quite simply fantastic. I've just finished recording an Oakbridge Farms episode where I've used it and it makes your life so much easier. Fair dues, you know, it's nice to use every once in a while, and when you have a lot to do, it's very nice and very it's a quality of life sort of thing. Fair, you know, I love loading things up and actually doing stuff properly, but there does come a time where using something like Autoload is just so handy. So first things first, we will go into our menu and we will go down to, I think flatbed trailers is a very good way to start, and if we go the farm tech. So now when you come on to here, you'll see that we have a blue box. This blue box is indicating where stuff will autoload onto, and it also comes to, and I will say this now, one of the only negatives I have, and it may very well be that I just don't know how to do it, is I don't know how to get rid of that blue box. Because when you're recording, or for me when I'm recording a video, yes, we have the autoload feature, but there's times where I would just prefer it if the blue box wasn't there and there was some hotkey that would then bring the blue box up and then I could get rid of it again. So if it could start off automatically not being there, but then we can bring it there, I think it makes for a video look a lot better. That's my only criticism. Apart from that, it is amazing. So with this blue box, if you, on your middle mouse button or your scroller wheel, if you click down, you'll see that you get these little dots, and this is where we can now modify it. So if we felt like we wanted to put a bit more in, if we use the hover over it and use the right mouse button, we can lift it up. We can also extend it. So if we wanted stuff, maybe stuff that was a bit longer, extend it. The only problem here now is that if it autoloads into here, it's falling on the floor. So we'll just take that back to the end of the trailer like so. And likewise with the sides, we can now bring the sides right out, autoload onto there. But again, obviously you'll be just autoloading onto the floor, which that is fantastic. It is something that I really like, and I wouldn't even want to try and imagine how Loki has managed to do this, but it is amazing. That being said, I think let's just go give it a go. So if we jump into here, we have these already here. So if we just bring up the F1 menu so you can see what's happening. So you've got collection mode, which is disabled. To do that, it's left control shift and R, and to start loading it's just shift R. We can change how we do this. So if we go shift R, it's now loading, and we have it on stacking. So as you see, as everything comes in, it's just stacking straight up into our trailer. But if we want to change that, so we want to go to and press insert on the keyboard, it now takes it to layering. So to unload, we go shift I, everything unloads, and then again let's go shift R, let's load it back up, and this is the layering. So it starts on the bottom, works its way along, and once the bottom's full, it then loads up higher up. The only thing I've noticed with layering is you get a few of these, you know, if you're not using all the same pallets, there's just a few that get caught and it's not as neat. But again, shift I and it all unloads. Just fantastic and so easy. But if we hop out of here now, so that works for everything. So if we just go back onto here, low loaders, let's go on to Load King. Again, you got a separate up here, and then you got another one down here. If we go to, let's back, obviously I've shown you flatbed trailers. If we go on to trucks and we go on to the Lizard Dragon, you can see there again, it's in there. It's not on the grain cart on the extension, but it is also there. One thing I have found is if you're wanting to overload things, you are better going up than out to the sides. Makes life a lot easier. So let's go to over here. So we have a truck here with a trailer with a low loader on, which is the low loader I just showed you. And again with the logs, we can go, if we just bring the menu up, start loading. So left shift R, we load up and it instantly puts a strap on. So now we can load like so. These are 8-meter logs that are on here, and that just shows you that you could possibly go to 12. So that just makes life, well, with the straps throwing on like that, you can use anything now to transport your logs. And again, left shift I, all off, and they are stacked very, very neatly. If we move over up to here, we have another truck. And again, these are 12-meter logs in here, which fit perfectly. So again, left shift R, we'll start loading up into here. Straps on, perfect. They are the perfect length to put into there. I haven't modified this to raise it up, which is something that I do recommend, just to make sure that you're getting as many logs in as possible. And then lastly, this is something that is very, very handy. I'm currently running a Silver Run series where we are trying to do everything as realistically as possible, but there's so much you can do realistic without a series starting to go slow. So I am implementing off camera, of course, where I can use Autoload, but everything on camera I'm using cranes. And these forwarders are something that I would quite like to do, because I know in the game it's so easy to drive your trucks everywhere, you know, in and around the woods to pick stuff up, than do it properly. Word of advice, or at least what I think is right for messing around with the forwarders. If we go on to here, let's go down to the forwarders. This is the one we have now. Be very, very mindful, these sides extend out. So that is why I brought this further out. I've also raised it a lot higher than normal, because before when I was testing, I wasn't getting very many logs in at all. It was only 3 or 4. So, but when I started messing around like this, it certainly did help. And I think if we go to one that I haven't fiddled with, that's how it starts out as. So that's one log you're going to get. So I also raised it up to here, because then logs will naturally just fall into there. So we'll give this, I haven't trialed this, so I'm probably going to be eating some of my own words here. And lifting the crane out of the way, right, left shift R, start loading up, and you'll see them all falling in. So we just take the straps off there, let them roll down a bit more. Let's see if we can get a few more. Can we get a few more in or not? So you'll see that's one of the problems with it loading up. Do we go left shift I? Now let's try again. Let's see if this makes it a bit easier. See how they're all rolling down? I know we've lost 1 or 2. So you can now take timber out like that with the forwarder. You've just got to be very, very mindful that you will probably struggle to get a full load. But saying that, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that informative, and I also hope that you're enjoying this little series, because it's a very personal one to me, of the stuff in Farming Simulator 25 that I do enjoy using. And I certainly hope to see you again in the next one. Bye for now.